Hey guys, it's me. So I know last week I sent a YouTube video of someone else reading the story for your story for last week, but I thought it was important that I come on here and I read it for you so that we can feel like we're at least a little bit normal. And I think it's important for you to see that even though I'm at home and you're at home, we are both working. We're working really hard to get things done, even though we can't physically be with each other right now. So I wanted to read a story this week. It's about someone who I think is incredible. She's the coolest person ever. And I know that I say that a lot, but I'm not lying because look at my shirt. I'm wearing this person on my shirt. Her name is Jane Goodall, and she is an anthropologist, and I'm going to actually teach you what an anthropologist is, along with other vocabulary words from the story. Here they are. So your first word is anthropologist. It's a person who studies humans and how they act. The next word is cherish. To protect or care for someone lovingly. So if you cherish something, it means a whole lot to you. Pursue, to go after something. So if you pursue your dreams and your goals and you really want to achieve your goals, you just go for it. And then discovery is the act of finding something out. So when I read our new story, anytime you hear those words, just like in class, you put your finger on your nose. All right, here we go. The story is called Me, Jane. There's going to be 2 stories about her. This is the first one. And then tomorrow, I'm going to read a biography about her so you can learn more facts. This is a picture of Jane in real life. She's holding a friend that you're about to find out about. And here we go. Jane had a stuffed toy chimpanzee named Jubilee. She cherished Jubilee and took him everywhere she went, and Jane loved to be outside. Raise your hand if you like to be outside. Nature! She watched birds making their nest, spiders spinning their webs, and squirrels chasing one another up and down trees. Jane learned that she could learn all about the animals and the plants that she studied in her backyard, and she read about them in books. So here's some of the things that she would research on when she's reading. She would look at different diagrams and pictures of animals, and she would study all about them. So instead of playing other games, Jane was always researching animals. That's really what she loved to do. One day, curious Jane wondered where eggs came from. So she and Jubilee snuck into Grandma's chicken coop. They hid behind some straw and they stayed very still. And all they did was observe the miracle. So you know we use the word observe a lot. So observe is to take a close look, and they actually got to see a chicken lay an egg. It was a magical world full of joy and wonder, and Jane felt very much a part of it. Jane often climbed her favorite tree, which she named Beech. She loved trees so much that she named this one Beech. She would lay her cheek against its trunk and seem to feel the sap flowing beneath the bark. Jane could feel her own heart beating, beating, beating. With the wind in her hair, she read and reread and reread the books about Tarzan of the Apes, in which another girl, who was also named Jane, lived in the jungle of Africa. She dreamed of a life in Africa, too. A life living with and helping all animals. At night, Jane would tuck Jubilee into bed. She would say her prayers and fall asleep. To awake one day, and make sure you're looking at the background of these pictures, these illustrations, to her dream come true. So if you notice, this picture is different than the other illustrations we were looking at because, I know you could tell me if we were together, this one was taken with an actual camera. It's a photograph, which means that this is real. Okay, and then there's a little after thing about Jane, so I'm going to read about her. It says that when Jane Goodall was 10 years old, so that's like a year or two older than you are now. So when she was 10, she decided that when she grew up, she would go to Africa, she was going to live with the animals, and she was going to write all about them. Almost everyone told her this goal was impossible. So everyone told her she wasn't going to be able to do it. Her family had little money, and she was a girl in a time when girls were not encouraged to pursue adventurous careers. But her mother encouraged her to follow her dream. When Jane finished school, she continued to learn about Africa, and she worked hard to save enough money to go there. She finally arrived in 1957, and for my Google people, I know you're going to Google how old she is now. She met the famous anthropologist Louis Leakey, and she began studying chimpanzees in the Nome Stream Game Reserve, which is now known as Nome Stream National Park in Tanzania in 1960. One of Jane's most important observations was her discovery that chimpanzees are able to make and use tools. So what she found out was chimpanzees were so smart that if they couldn't get food, they would create a tool out of sticks or something that they would make, and they would use that to help them get the food. Most animals, they don't do that. So she realized that chimpanzees, whoa, are really smart. Until this time, experts thought that only humans were able to do something like that. But based on Jane's remarkable studies, the world was forced to rethink what makes humans different from animals. She wrote about her discoveries and countless other observations in books that she has written. Today, Jane travels around the world raising awareness about the plight of chimpanzees and environmental conservation. Human populations are growing in the forests in Africa where chimpanzees live, and trees are being cut down, and chimps and other animals are being hunted for food. So she set up a group called the Jane Goodall Institution, which is an organization that helps communities near wild places grow more food, have clean water, and send children to school while also teaching people how to protect the wildlife. So this week, we are learning all about her. We are learning all about chimpanzees for our nonfiction unit. And I hope you guys have fun, and I hope you get to go outside this week and just make Jane and myself and your parents proud. All right, I'll talk to you soon. Bye.